Hello everyone, George here, and we're back with another episode, and in this one we're going to take a look at, basically finishing off some of the extraneous elements. So we've got a lot of things done in our security room now to make it look a little bit more interesting. Let's go ahead and finish off, I think, the borders, this border, and maybe the glass. That sounds like a good thing to go for, I guess. So jumping back into Maya really quick, let's see what we have to deal with, because I know not everything is perfect at the moment. Several changes I made probably screwed things up. So are those seriously the same object? So if I select one, it selects both. Let us go to... This is different. Sorry, it's just... I haven't actually taken a moment to look at the tools inside of 2018 and use the shelf. And I just noticed these three green tools that I've never seen before in my life. And it kind of caught me off guard. So sorry about that. But anyway, there's that side, there's that side, there's the glass on one side, there's the glass on the other side. And remember, inside of Unity, unless you create a shader that does not include culling the back face, you're not going to see it. So it's something to keep in mind. All right, so let's go ahead and actually grab things and start hiding them out. All right, so that's most of everything at this point. So hide that as well for the moment. So we've got, so there's an other side to the door. Let's look at the door itself. So that's the door. It's just a frame, and there's an inner frame, and then there's an outer thing as well. Well, we might as well add some bevels to things. Why not? Because you know what? In the real world, everything for the most part has a bevel. And if it doesn't have a bevel, it's going to hurt you. Let's go ahead and go to bevel edge, make that really low. Once again, I'm only adding so many of these because, well, there's no reason not to. I don't exactly have a high number of geometry points at the moment in my scene, so why not, use a little bit of it. So let's go to bevel and fraction way down. Add another segment. So it was this 0.1 and 2. So let's do the same thing here. G, 0.1. and 2. There we go. So our button should be good to go. And now let's go to the other side and do the same thing. So what was that? G, 0.1 and 2. Of course, I could just mirror this over. G, whoops, F. Please F. There we go. Let's see. What do we got here? This thing. So that's a 0.1 and 2. Enter. And we're good there. Now I just need to actually make the button work properly because I've got this one is different than the other one. So we should probably delete one of these. Delete. Grab this one, shift right click, go to mirror mode. And instead of object, we'll do world. We will do negative, or actually positive X. We will not cut, we will not combine, and we'll hit apply. And that duplicated it over to the other side, and everything looks perfect. Great. Okay, so let's start thinking about what we're going to bring into Substance Painter. So obviously, the windows are going to come in. So let's hide all these other elements. So that window, that one, whoops, that one, and that one are coming along. And this probably the frame and that frame as well. Kind of thinking maybe we should just do the frames for these two first and ignore some of the other elements at the moment before we dive in too deep. So let's do that. Let's right click. Let's grab both actually and right click new material and just put a Fong on that and call this let's see, what is this? Security room underscore window. Window border. Okay, and wait, I'm sorry, that's a material. I need an underscore M on the end. Boop, 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 save. Okay, next up are the glass pieces. So let's grab all the glass pieces, right click, assign new material, Fong, and security room underscore glass underscore M. Perfect, save. All right, so now let's just make sure the UVs are set up properly. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all the pieces of glass. Since they're on the same plane, UV and planar, let's go to, what do we have here? X, yep, apply, close. Let's make sure I have things set up properly. Yeah, okay, that's good. Let's put the UV toolkit inside that. There we go. I'm going to move it off screen for a moment. And those. Let's deal with the actual pieces of the window. Why not? Come on, F8 for me. There you go. Good job. We're going to grab both pieces of window, bring this back, do the same planar on top of both, move them off a little bit. I never like to work in the 0 to 1 UV space when I'm dealing with something. Let's go to unfold. I want to unfold it, and we get these horribly nasty meshes. I want to go ahead and shift right click. Wait. Let's go to UV shells, grab the shells, shift right click, and do an orient shells. We can see what we get there. Let's grab a few of them, go to transform and rotate these. Great. Let's take a look at how much distortion we have. So let's go to UV distortion. It's actually not very much, so I want to let it kind of be. I don't have to, actually. Really, this texture should probably be sharing some space with something else because it's such a minor element within the scene. But I'm having optimization mental problems here. So let's do create UV shells, grab them all, and lay them out and see what we get. Those are some pretty big shells, but I'm also missing probably 50% of my UV space here, which I'm not particularly proud of. I'm trying to think here. I got to deal with the fact that it's transparent and it's going to go into Unity, and I got to make sure the shader's transparent and it's on the right level and all the other junk. All right, I think it's fine the way it is, but I am going to grab these elements and rotate them 90 degrees because I want them. No, you know what? I'm not, because these ones are 90s and these ones are, yeah, at the other angle. So let's just keep it the way it is. If we got to optimize and start crunching textures together, it's something we got to do later on, not something I want to deal with at the moment. So we got all this stuff going on. We're going to grab these guys and let's go ahead. Actually, I only need to do one side because we're going to duplicate it to the other. Save, edit, delete by type history, file, and export selection. Let's bring this on over to our Substance Painter folder, exports, and let's do window. Security room underscore window. There we go. Perfect. Go back to Substance Painter, file, new, select, and security room window. 1024 is fine for a window. And there we go. Perfect. So we're going to change our shader from PBR Metal Rough to alpha blending. Yeah, alpha blending. We'll go with alpha blending. And we need to bake our textures. So go ahead and do that. Bake all. Perfect. Now let's go ahead. So we have the glass first. Let's solo that. So we have the two sides of the glass. You can see right there. 1, 2. Let's go ahead and go to, let's see, materials. And I believe I've already downloaded a glass material we're going to work with here. So let's see, glass clear, glass hammered, glass scale. Let's go with glass clear. Now, in order to make this work, we actually need to go under channels, add to that the opacity channel, and then under here now we have an opacity channel we can work with. And we can go ahead and decrease that opacity value. Now, against a gray background, that's not going to show a whole lot. So why don't we go ahead under viewer settings and increase the environment opacity. And now we get a better sense of what's really going on. And quite frankly, I actually don't like glass clear. Let's go with glass scale instead. Whoops, excuse me. Select that and hit glass scale. Change that down to something that makes sense. Screw that. Let's go with glass hammered. So this is going to have a bit of a texture associated with it, as you can see. So let's do opacity a little bit lower, maybe 0.2. The rest of the settings are fine. Nothing really is necessary. But what's interesting about this is that, well, first of all, I haven't baked anything. So let's do that first. So bake and bake all. All right, so here we go. You can clearly see from one side what's going on. And that's probably more or less due to the light source, as you can see there. Because depending upon which side we're on, you'll notice it. And I kind of like this because it won't let you necessarily get a clear view of the animatronic coming through the other side. So I think I'm going to keep that and make it work for me. Let's go with window border now. Now, I'm thinking I want a red border around this. I didn't consult the reference material, but ultimately, with everything else, the monochromatic nature of the rest of the room, I kind of want a red border going on. So let's go to plastic, I guess. We'll go with a matte plastic on this and just pick a red, a deep red, I think. Maybe not quite so deep. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we're also going to add a rust, I think. I really like rust fine for some reason. And I'm going to push that down to the darker element. I am going to make that triplanar, and same thing, not that it matters apparently. Looking at the seam right there, and I'm kind of wondering what's going on there. But I'm thinking that has to do more with me not taking enough time with the UVs. So let's just ignore that. So for the rust, let's look at the smart masks. And I think let's do... Oxidation's interesting. Paint old might be interesting. No, not really. Ground one might work again because, dirt kind of settles at the bottom of things. So that might be a good idea. So going back here, I'm going to do that's all good. That's good as well. Let's go into the rust again. Or actually, let's go into the... Let's see, dirt, level, height. I'm going to let's see what happens. I'm going to decrease the contrast a bit. Let's come at it from the other side, maybe. Yeah. Levels, something like that. Because we are trying to keep the grit and grime of the level. Let's turn both on now. And this is what we're going to have for our scene when we look through. And the hammered kind of glass is nice too because it looks a little bit like security glass. Not that it is, but you know, you have the wires that go through the whole thing, cross-hatched, so that if someone tried to punch their way through it, they're not going to have that happen. So let's save this, and we're going to call this, what is it? Security room window. Right click and export textures. Let's go with, yeah, 1024 is fine for the junk we're doing here. And let's go back. I wish Substance Painter remembered this part. And jump to YouTube, reproduce, FNAF. SP, textures, right click, new, folder, and let's just call the security room underscore window. Select, make sure we're on Unity 5 metallic, export, open as usual, bring that over here, texture, right click, copy, reproduce it, FNAF, and let's go into A Night at Georgie's, assets, and this is for the security room, so we're going to go under level, and then security room, textures, and paste. Okay, perfect. Minimize that. Now we need to do a export. So let's do a display show all, whoops, display show all, window outliner, which is right here, security room, save, file, send to Unity, selection, security room, yes, thank you, go back to Unity. So we're inside here. Now we can grab the elements that matter. So we've got the security backroom, wait, what? That's not the material. Security room underscore back underscore M. Oh, unlock, lock, glass. There we go. Let's go under window and start adding the glass elements. So albedo, metallic, and normal. Fix. There we go. But we need to make a change. Under opaque, we need to set this to transparent instead. Now we can actually see through our windows. Next up, we're going to grab the borders, unlock, lock, and let's go to, let's see, window border. So that's these ones. So albedo, metallic, whoops, metallic, and normal. Fix now. And now we have our red outlines on top of everything else. Let's just take a look at this really quick. Yeah, you know what? I kind of like that. Now we've got some problems apparently between one room and the next, as well as these buttons. And you know, we will resolve all those issues in another video. All we're trying to do right now is deal with making this look a little bit better. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. We just hit the 20-minute mark, and that's usually when I like to stop. If you didn't like it, you know what to do. If you did, hey, I'll see you in the next video. So long, goodbye.